acknowledged that due to proper governance and the rules of the Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt's spirit, all funds have been allayed by this signing ceremony of agreement between the government of Dominica and the Basic Needs Trust Fund, together with the Dominica Community High School. We pray for the blessing upon the extension of this administration of this place, and we ask you to bless those directly involved in this timely ceremony and all those here. And since we're at the peak of the hurricane season, we ask please to protect and deliver us from COVID as we all endeavor to respect the appropriate protocols presented by legitimate authority. We pray that the administrators of this school will utilize this gift from the CMU prudently for the welfare of society. Father, we ask you to bless this project and us as well. To Christ our Lord. Amen.
That's all set. Thank you very much, Monsignor Thomas. Honorable Reginald Austri, Senior Minister and Minister for Housing and Urban Development. Honorable Rosalind Paul, Minister for Sports, Culture and Community Development. Honorable Octavia Alfred, Minister for Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence. Honorable Chekira Lockhart Hippolyte, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, International Transport and Maritime Initiative, and Parliamentary Representative for the Rosal North constituency. Rosal South constituency, thank you, Darrell. Other honorable members of Cabinet, Monsignor Eustace Thomas, Permanent Secretary, Mr. Matthew Carrott, the Project Manager of B.N.T.F, Mistress Celia Nicholas, Principal of the Dominica Community High School, B.N.T.F staff, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, listeners and viewers at home and abroad, a very good morning to you. A very good morning to you. I know it's early, but nonetheless we're alive. Today we're here to bear witness to the contract awarded to the contractor Construction and Industrial Equipment Limited for the construction of the Dominican Community High School extension under the B.N.T.F, or the Basic Needs Trust Fund 9th program. What we're about to witness today is quite instructive, since the B.N.T.F has three major national development strategy and focus, one being that of education and human resource development. Others refers to sanitation and water and basic access. This morning we're looking at education, since the program is geared of building communities and reducing vulnerability of our people. And the beauty of this program, it is one that engage at a very grassroots level. The beneficiaries are involved in the planning and the development of the program. And of course, I think for a person as the community high school principal, she will be very proud this morning to know at least the fruits of her labor is coming to fruition. The 9th envelope was obviously affected by the impact of before Hurricane Maria, even the impact of Tropical Storm Erika. And after the impact of Hurricane Maria, government of course had to put a major focus on the restoration of water. So today is a very historic and significant moment for all of us, and I really want to extend a very hearty welcome to you on behalf of the government of Dominica and the ministry with the lead on this program. I say the ministry of the lead because you realize we are on the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Community Development, but this is an education initiative. And likewise, you will see as the programs begin to unfold, since we have a number of other projects to have our signing ceremony and actually the groundbreaking. So on this note, I would really like to call to the podium Mr. Matthew Carrot to give us a brief overview of the project. Mr. Carrot.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Sports, Culture and Community Development, and to recognize the presence of Senior Minister, Honorable Reginald Austri. So we have at our head table there, Honorable Rosalind Porter, Minister for Sports, Culture and Community Development, Honorable Octavia Alfred, Minister for Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training, and National Excellence. We have Ms. Shakira Lockhart-Hippolyte, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, International Transport and Maritime Initiatives, and Parliamentary Representative for the Roseau South constituency. And so we have other parliamentarians in our midst. Those I can recognize. I see we have Honorable Artist King. I see Honorable Daru. I see we have Honorable Roberts. And I see we have Senator Oscar George. And also our friend from the Kalinago Territory, Honorable Jose Frederick. I recognize the principal of the Dominica Community High School. We are members of our Project Extend Committee. So we have other invited guests, members of the media, and let me also recognize our friend representing the contractor, Construction Industrial and Equipment Limited, the contract for which we'll be signing today. And I also see Mr. Greg Fortin representing the consultant. Thank you. Today's groundbreaking ceremony and contract signing, it really signals for us the commencement of activities under the B.N.T.F 9 program. This has been long in coming, and today we breathe a sigh of relief that after all the efforts and delays, and we are finally here at a point where we can sign a contract to commence actual construction. A lot goes on into B.N.T.F, a lot of preparatory work. And as I said before, B.N.T.F is a grant-funded program sponsored by the Caribbean Development Bank. So there are a lot of checks and balances, a lot of protocols have to be followed. But we are at the point today where we can say we have gone past this. And what we are seeing or witnessing live is testimony to the fact that we are finally going to begin implementation under the B.N.T.F program. B.N.T.F program is community driven. It is considered here the bank's poverty flagship reduction program. And it has started since 1979, and it has continued to play a major role in providing access to basic infrastructure in poor and rural and needy communities. So we truly want to applaud the efforts of the Caribbean Development Bank for journeying with us since 1979. So, thank you. Yeah, it has been a faithful partnership. The bank has not wavered, and the bank continues to recognize that there is need for this program. And even as was indicated to us recently, even at a time, and if all the challenges been faced by COVID-19, and even with the difficulties in obtaining funds from the benefactors, because a lot of the bank's benefactors, they come from countries like Germany and England and all these countries that provide soft funds to CDB that they can give to the government. I don't say free, but as grant funding. The bank recognizes the importance that the program plays in reaching out to the poor and needy communities and giving them a way out, a means to an end. That's what we see B.N.T.F as. So when we do projects and we increase education, we provide in a better environment for learning. Similarly, for water, we're talking about improved sanitation and hygiene. And for access, it's a means of, improving communication. So here we are today, and to pioneer the commencement of the B.N.T.F 9 program, we are here today with the Dominica Community High School. And I just want to say to our friend Mrs. Nicholas, it's really gratifying to say that, after all this wait, the program or the project is becoming a reality. As was briefly echoed by Permanent Secretary, some of these projects that we had undertaken on the B.N.T.F 9, they have been in the pipeline for a while. And the passage of Erica, forced government and rightly so to change priorities. But there's always this understanding with CDB that a lot of the projects which had to be deferred from B.N.T.F 7 and 8 following Erica would have been given priority on the B.N.T.F 9. So after all this, we are here today truly thankful that we are about to see the commencement of works under the B.N.T.F 9 program. Just a brief background on this project. It is really going to be the construction of a 2-floor concrete structure to our north here. So there'll be a ground floor and there'll be a first floor. And provisions have been made in the foundation for an extension to a second floor. We are providing for solar energy. We are providing a covered timber walkway. We are constructing a drainage along the perimeter of the school. And we're also providing an external stair and ramp access to the first floor. So we know, Mrs. Nicholas, that this has been long in coming. We understand the challenges that were faced with the space limitations. And we understood, because as we look at the write-up for this project, we understood clearly what your objectives were and what you planned to do, but you were limited by space constraints. So we are hoping that from now on, upon completion, you will be one step further to truly realizing all the aims and plans you have for the Dominica Community High School. So with these brief remarks, I just want to again signal our appreciation and our thankfulness for this moment. And just to reiterate that after all this, we are at the point where works are about to begin. So to all, just thanks for your patience, thanks for your endurance, but B.N.T.F is ready to move. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Carrot. It is my honor, of course, to call to the podium at this point, in her capacity as the parliamentary representative for the Roseau South constituency, Honorable Shakira Lockett Hippolyte, to give us a few remarks. Honorable Hippolyte.
Thank you, PS. Good morning and greetings to Honorable Reginald Austri, Senior Minister and Minister for Housing and Urban Renewal, Honorable Rosalind Paul, Minister for Sports, Culture and Community Development, Honorable Octavia Alfred, Minister for Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence, other cabinet colleagues, Monsignor Eustace Thomas, P.S. Lucien Blackmore, other permanent secretaries, Mr. Matthew Carrett, Project Manager of the B.N.T.F, Ms. Celia Nicholas, Principal, Dominica Community High School, B.N.T.F staff, other invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be here this morning and thank God that we have all been able to make it here safely Thank God for his many blessings. Thank God for the Basic Needs Trust Fund. And thank God that we are able to once again sign another meaningful contract under the B.N.T.F 9 program, the Dominica Community High School Extension. Contract signing ceremonies such as this are not only about an agreement between two parties, one completing works or services and the other agreeing to pay. These contracts represent much more. They represent a significant improvement in the livelihoods of people, enhancement of socio-economic development of communities, provision of resources for the underprivileged families, and a reduction in vulnerability of women, men, girls, and boys. These contracts represent commitment to lowering risk that impact income generation and well-being. These contracts represent access to basic services and tremendous opportunities for skills enhancement and employment. From its inception in 1979, the B.N.T.F has played a critical role in development. And it is important to stress the type of development that B.N.T.F has contributed to and the impact that B.N.T.F approach has had on our communities. The B.N.T.F is focused on a community participatory approach, and in so doing, the program has been able to target projects and funds into areas which have a direct impact on people's lives. Today, I am grateful and humble to be here at this ceremony for the B.N.T.F 9 program, as this marks yet another commitment to the improvement of communities in ways which impact families and individuals. But I must also recognize and give a nod to the hard work of the B.N.T.F program and local office over the years. To date, 6 B.N.T.F programs have been completed successfully, and throughout it all, the Caribbean Development Bank has also stood by Dominica. They have held the hands of our communities through challenging times, and they have continuously sought ways to improve the effectiveness and delivery of projects. So I say a thank you. Thank you for the many projects, including the Charlotte Nursery School under B.N.T.F 5, under the B.N.T.F 4, the First Avenue Road in Madrill, Tex Hill Wheel Tracks in Girodale, Bath Estate Drains, the Eggleston Health Clinic, the Kingsley Road Rehabilitation under the B.N.T.F 3, and the Girodale Eggleston Water Supply under the B.N.T.F 2. I look forward to the implementation and successful completion of these contracts, and I also look forward to the future of B.N.T.F as we work together to improve the lives of all Dominicans in meaningful ways at the community level. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Hippolyte. And of course, since we have said it is an integrated program going across sectors, and today the education and human resource component is at the hem, it is indeed my distinguished pleasure to call the Minister responsible for education, human resource planning, vocational training, and national excellence, Honorable Alfred. Let's welcome him.
Good morning, everybody. To God be the glory. Great things he continues to do. Has done is like past tense. Great things he continues to do. Honorable Reginald Austri, Senior Minister and Minister for Housing and Urban Renewal. Honorable Rosalind Paul, Minister for Sports, Culture and Community Development. Honorable Shakira Lockhart Hippolyte, Parliamentary Representative in the Ministry of Tourism, International Transport and Maritime Initiatives, and also the member for the Roseau South constituency. Other honorable members, cabinet colleagues, Monsignor Eustace Thomas, Mr. Lucien Blackmore, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Community Development, other permanent secretaries, Mrs. Cilio Nicolas, Principal, Dominica Community High School, B.N.T.F staff, representatives from the contracted firm, other invited guests to include the Planning Officer of the Ministry of Education, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am happy to be here. Hope my smile shows it. Let me put a better smile. I'm happy to be here to speak with you briefly on this significant occasion. I say significant because we are always extremely appreciative of these kinds of inventions that assist us to make our schools better centers of learning. The partnership that has existed between the Basic Trust Fund and the Ministry of Education has proven a blessing for us in education. Many of our schools have benefited and continue to benefit from assistance to improve learning spaces and expand options for student development. This current project is heavily focused on the upgrade of the physical environment at our beneficiary school against the background of so much damage caused by Hurricane Maria. But there's also the recognition that some of the schools are heavily engaged in skills, and there has been important assistance in that regard. As ministry, we continue to place focus on the development of TVET because we see this as one way to empower young people to participate fully in the modern workplace. We thank the B.N.T.F for recognizing those various ways in which our schools could be assisted to become more child-friendly, and by that I mean we are creating spaces that ensure our children are learning in safe, healthy, modern environments. The improvement funded by the B.N.T.F mean that the setting at this school is more comfortable for students, and we are confident this will ultimately lead to higher achievement. The Dominica Community High School is benefiting from a new block that will include a resource room, auditorium, computer lab, and a library. The addition will accommodate innovative teaching and learning methods and develop more skill-oriented youth who will be able to integrate in the world of work more easily. The facility is a 2-floor concrete structure designed for future extension. I commend the school principal, Mrs. Nicholas, and her hard-working staff for what they have been able to accomplish here, even with limited facilities. We know, for example, that they have had a great success story with TVET related such as livestock farming and coconut oil production. Yet, I am sure they saw a great need to provide even more opportunities for students' activity. These improvements will surely provide both teachers and students with the space needed for greater success. The Ministry of Education remains grateful for our various partnerships with friendly organizations. I thank the director and staff of the B.N.T.F for their committed efforts. Thank you also to Minister Paul and her staff. These collaborations can only result in the overall growth and development of the education system. I look forward to continued good relationships between the ministries and the B.N.T.F. I hope the students of this school will find value in these additions and that we will see improvement in learning and achievement. I thank you. God bless you. Jesus loves you, and I love you too. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Honorable Alfred. Very pointed and instructive reflections indeed. It's by no coincidence, I think, this morning without head table, I'm the only Lone Ranger, since everybody on the head table are directly related in the formal careers as teachers or in teaching higher learning institution. Honorable Paul, of course, studied as a teacher and a stalwart of community development, social improvement, and prosperity. So I know she's very elated to be here this morning to address you as the minister responsible for sports, culture, and community development. Honorable Paul.
It adjusted itself. Let me wish everyone a pleasant day and to recognize, first of all, Senior Minister, Honorable Reginald Austri, Honorable Octavia Alfred, Minister for Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training, and National Excellence, Honorable Shakira Lockhart, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, International Transport and Maritime Initiatives, and also the Parliamentary Representative for the South, Roseau South, and including this community, other honorable members of Cabinet, Moseye Eustace Thomas, Mr. Lucien Blackmore, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Sports, Culture, and Community Development. Other permanent secretaries, Mr. Carrett, and other members, Project Manager of B.N.T.F. and other members of staff of the B.N.T.F. Mrs. Celia Nicholas, Principal, Dominica Community High School, and any other staff members here?
Yes, they're all here.
Okay, other staff members, good morning. And students as well. And also staff of the ministry, other members of staff of the Ministry of Community Development, Sports and Culture. And if any parents are here, well wishers. Again, it's a great morning today to be here to sign contract for a project at a sum of over $1.2 million. As earlier stated, the Basic Needs Trust Fund undertakes poverty reduction initiatives in collaboration with communities through the establishment of necessary community-based infrastructure and appropriate skills training ventures. But not only that, through the processes that the Basic Needs Trust Fund employs, it allows for ownership, buy-in, and empowerment of communities. In its process of project preparation, implementation, and monitoring, it ensures the active participation of communities. So in that way, it also builds community leadership. One of the areas of focus of B.N.T.F., one of the categories of projects that are undertaken by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, include education and human resource development. For example, very recently, there were projects under this category that were undertaken. The Pierre Secondary School Auto Mechanics Upgrade at a tune of $786,851. And also, a couple months ago, there was a handing over ceremony for the Saint-Sauveur Primary School rehabilitation, which also was at a cost of $662,657. So the Basic Needs Trust Fund has been, over several decades since 1979, been making significant investment in various categories that affects people's lives. That's across sectors. But recently, there has been great investment in ensuring that we can have improved quality of education through investments by the B.N.T.F. And today, we are elated to be here, very elated to be here to sign the contract for the Dominica Community High School extension, and as I said, at a sum of over $1.2 million. The Dominica Community High School is a fully established secondary school which emphasizes agricultural science and offers all the major subjects on the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate curriculum. However, with many students from the more educationally challenged and socially disadvantaged groups, the school needs to expand its offerings to include more technical vocational subjects, to undertake artistically talented extracurricular activities, and provide students with computer services to do the increasing number of internet-based modes of instructions and examinations. And COVID-19 pointed to that as a great need. But unfortunately, the lack of space, facilities, and equipment limits the school's ability to provide these services. And so, not only is this significant in terms of dollars and cents, but it is very significant in terms of the expected impact of this project. The school lacks a school hall or auditorium. It lacks a well-equipped computer lab or other facility that allows it to use non-traditional student-centered teaching methods or information and communication technology for technical skill development. It is also unable to host concerts and other school gatherings that foster artistic expression and contribute to the development of well-rounded students. And we know that the arts and culture play a very pivotal role in the development of every Dominican, including our students, and that's where we need to start. So the school's plant, although in a very good condition, is several decades old and urgently needs to be supplemented with amenities that lend to a more creative and student-centered learning modalities, learning environment that is, and one that will aid, as I said, with the artistic expression and fostering greater students and parents' participation. The 5 classrooms currently available are not really conducive to these objectives. And so you realize the very importance of this project that is going to add space and facilities and equipment that will lend for studying and research and, as I said, arts and culture and the use of new technology. So this shows you how wide and how impactful the project is going to be to allow for high creative and innovative abilities for our students and to cater to their interests, their various interests and inclinations. The new block will address these concerns and provide an upgraded learning environment for students at an improved teaching atmosphere for the staff and much needed space to house teaching aids and equipment. The new resource room, the auditorium and computer lab and library will facilitate special training sessions for the students as well as their parents, and I would think the wider community, because a public space like that, as I know in most communities, is also beneficial to the wider community. And so we expect that it will benefit the neighboring communities, the boys and girls, the parents as well. Currently, I think the rural community population is about 91, and the expected beneficiaries currently is 85. But every year, there will be new beneficiaries because it is going to be having a long-term impact. And so I am very, very grateful to the Basic Needs Trust Fund, to Mrs. Nicholas and her staff for ensuring that this project was put forward. And I'm grateful as well to the CDB for approving this project that will impact Dominica, and for the work that we in the Ministry of Community Development and through the Basic Needs Trust Fund continue to do to benefit education, to benefit families and communities, and to improve the quality of lives of Dominicans all across this island. I want to thank you, and I look forward to the success of this project.
Thank you very much, Honorable Paul. And it's quite interesting. It's called Basic Needs Trust Fund, but you will well appreciate an extension to a school of $1.25 million can be by no means basic. It is indeed very significant. And so we are happy to be at the stage where we could see the actual signing taking place for kicking off the project, and that will be followed by a symbolic groundbreaking. And I will have to call on the Honorable Senior Minister to be part of that groundbreaking as well. Yeah. Hmm? Yeah. Okay, ladies and gents, we are at the stage where we will witness the symbolic groundbreaking. The groundbreaking party will comprise of Senior Minister, Honorable Reginald Austrie, Honorable Rosen Paul, the Minister for Sports, Culture and Community Development, Minister responsible for education, of course, the parliamentary representative, and the distinguished honor of the principal of the Dominica Community High School, Mrs. Nicholas. Okay, so Mrs. Nicholas, could you come up and we will just proceed to the other side. Okay, so we've just witnessed the actual groundbreaking. So Mrs. Nicholas can officially say that her project has started and can keep Mr. Carrot extremely busy, or continue to keep him very busy. Continue to keep him very busy. Honorable Alfred did make it very clear, as well as Honorable Hippolyte, you guys are having a very busy time. And so this time, this moment, it is for us to hear from the Lady of Honor, the students, staff, and of course the parents of the Community High School. On that note, I want to call Mrs. Nicholas to the podium to deliver the vote of thanks. Mrs. Nicholas.
Thank you, P.S. Blackmore.
senior parliamentarian. I prefer to use that than the senior minister. Honorable Austri, Honorable Alfred from my line ministry, Honorable Rosalind Paul, another line ministry because of the project that we are doing, Honorable Shakira, and all the other parliamentarians who are here, the heads of division, parliamentary secretaries, Mr. Carrot, head of division of the B.N.T.F, the contractor, friends of the Domka Community High School, staff, students of the Domka Community High School, the press, and of course, press, I am leaving Monseigneur last because of my introductory paragraph. And I also see some past students of the Domka Community High School there. They can reveal themselves to you. Thank you, Lord, for blessing us. Blessed be the name of the Lord. This is what Job said. But I am not continuing with Job, and I hope it's not sacrilege, but I have my priest here if I commit a cardinal sin to confess me right away. For me to tell Job, blessed be the name of the Lord for what he has given, but not this one he's going to take away. Because we have been tested for 7 years, as all the others have alluded to. From 2013, and I have to start from 2013 because this is when it was conceived. And you know, conception is very important. With no conception, we have no delivery. And we are here, 2020. Perfect vision. The biblical significance of the number is commonplace among believers. 7, completion, and we are here to start that completion. I always take a little pause because sometimes you forget to acknowledge some people. I see Miss Jules here. Miss Jules, you're one of the early people here because they told you at 10, you know, and you were very early, and you came prior to that. So, Miss Jules, the hiatus from initial approval of this project in 2015 to its launching this morning, 2020, though regrettably late, from my perspective, brings home the message. When God says yes, it is indeed yes. In spite of the odds, the Ericas, the Marias, and attending factors, we have prevailed. Good things do not only come to those who exercise Job's patience, but also to those who are prudent, diligent, and unrelenting, and claim the promises of Isaiah. These qualities abound at the Domka Community High School. The humanitarian virtue of the first world countries nudged them to share some of their largesse with their weaker associates. These funds are channeled through regional institutions. We acknowledge this concern. We invite them, this is the way we can repay them, to the cool, serene, and rejuvenating environment of the Domka Community High School. But first thing, before they come, they have to get rid of the virus. The Caribbean Development Bank personnel graced us with many visits. Many. Because this is not the first project that we are doing with them. This is the 3rd one and a half. There's one in Zion there's the other one in Lower Zion. Their many searching questions and critical observation caused us to review parts of the projects. By then, we were becoming used to their modus operandi. Previous to this project, as I said, they had funded 3 others, which was spearheaded by the school. They have both survived Erica and Maria and the human tornadoes. The bank's eminent visit to the school almost immediately after the demise of Erica spoke volumes to me. I don't know if they're here. I don't see Mr. Thomas here, one of the representatives, but if it is live, maybe they're listening. You cared. Your concern was genuine. This will be in our hearts, and it will resonate with us always. Mr. McDonald Thomas is not here, but I still think I have to mention him. He worked on odd days and times with our committee comprising teacher, parent, and student representatives. Mr. Thomas, your manner reflected the Caribbean Development Bank's signature way. In addition, we received from you spiritual guidance, nutritional support, and advice to pursue more projects. So another one is coming. Metal, B.N.T.F metal. This is my description, the way I characterize the working relationship between Basic Needs Trust Fund, the unit of the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and the Dominica Community High School. Mr. Carrot and team, past and current, and you maybe know why I'm saying past, we presented several times. You refined several times. We presented. But the important thing is that with our experience with you all, you see our project through to fruition. Mrs. Walsh is not here. I understand she's on leave. But many times we cried in the night together about this project. But joy has come this morning. Honorable Paul, Minister responsible for community development and other things. I want you to know that you need to work along with Team A. They form a good Team A. And if you do that, you will rise on eagle's wings. The Honorable Minister for our Prime Minister, he's not here, but he's the Minister of Finance. And as I say, I know the intricacies of these funding agencies. Your consent and signature gave the 7-year-old dream our gratitude. And on the side, I would like to tell him that I want a signature like his, because it has plenty power. But where there is life, the opportunities abound, never too late. Honorable Minister for Education and other portfolios, Mrs. Octavia Alfred, your presence here witness the unveiling of this project seals your interest in the young people of this blessed country. She was supposed to have been here for the outgoing of our 5th form students. One of them is here, Honorable. They were very disappointed, but she had competing circumstances, and I understood that. The achievements of the staff and students of the Dominica Community High School shall be part of the flow of uplifting wind beneath your wings. The organizing committee for this launching, you have fulfilled your mandate. And Mrs. Abraham, you are a serious contender to Job, and you understand what I mean. We thank you. The press, the good news should not be contained. DCHS has always made you comfortable when you come here, but I'm missing somebody, he knows whom. Thanks for your presence. The contractor, we welcome you aboard. We have had a lot of, goings-ons, and I do hope that somewhere along the line, while we are implementing the project, we'll go back to our 3 floors. I do hope and I'm praying for that. Some money will come from somewhere. Gathering. My spirit tells me that you're here to support the Dominica Community High School. Your heart and good wishes are aligned to the hidden curriculum which our Minister of Education outlined so well. Hidden curriculum of the Dominica Community High School. Our journey is far from finished. We are still in need of your esprit de corps, and we expect you to be there to enable us and to push us along. To all who are present here today and those who are listening, I ask a pertinent question. What is the work that God has given you to do? By His grace, cultivate it. Bring order to it so that much can flow from it. Blessings to all, and thank you for listening. But before we do anything, our students are going to make a presentation to the 3 ladies here. So you come forward. Kiana is a 5th former who has just exited school, but you notice she had the commitment to put on her uniform and to come to school to do that. So Kiana. So can the other ministers couldn't come here, so it will be much better. Now the gift is very fragile, please. It came from Zion. That is one of our products of the Basic Trust Fund. Thank you, students, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Nicholas. And we have come to the end of the ceremony. I think we should have some refreshments that is packaged for you. So we will still do our safe distancing and our social distancing, but you will get. So, Mrs. Abraham, are we going to allow everybody to proceed, or we'll take it to them? You'll proceed? So I would suggest that the students could take it to the head table, the ministers, and everybody else. Thank you very much for your patience.